Welcome to the Alpha Nerd Podcast. I'm your main host, Kyle, along with my cinema co-hosts, Greg and Dan.
How you doing? Hello.
News so far, the WB announced that they have, they're going to attempt to do another 4 to 8 year plan to try to set up the DC universe.
Why bother?
That was my thoughts.
Because the best way to do it for them would be to just have individual movies and assume people know kind of the storyline a little bit. The only one they have to really explain is probably Green Lantern a little bit. But even then, am I coming up?
Yeah, I believe so.
Really?
Yeah, just recording that one.
Oh, okay. So anyway.
I think this one's just being temperamental. But
because they had a Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. Everyone loved that one apparently. And
everyone hated it.
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay.
Wow, you really didn't pick up on that.
No,
I like the part of I like the ending of Deadpool where he shoots himself and he's like, "There, I took care of it. Can you shut up about it now?"
Where he kills himself too.
He goes back in time and kills himself as a Green Lantern.
So that's their idea that they're going to try. But what makes it worse is they're setting up to do a plan, not set up like a movie series. Like they have nothing shot. They're going to start planning.
I like how you're trying to look me in the eyes. I'm the worst person to talk to this about.
No, but you can. But here's the thing. You
know how Marvel did it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're trying to set up another 48-year plan.
It's already too late for that, though.
I know.
They've already done movies, and they'd have to pretty much hit the reset button.
I've read a number of articles about this, and one of the things that they always say is that try to limit the amount of Batman you get, because he's the sure thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everyone understands who Batman is,
and Superman.
Superman less so, because a lot of these guys have no idea how to write for him. They always either make him too powerful, or lose any of the idea of him being like a moral person.
Right.
Like, I didn't like Henry Cavill. Like, it's not Henry Cavill; it's the way they portrayed him. Like with the sonic booms,
the story that
with the sonic booms, and not trying to save people, but just beating the stuffing, if you will, out of Zod, and he didn't think about civilian casualties whatsoever. Now, granted, they didn't show anybody in the offices when he punched him through a building. But how would he know that? He wasn't paying attention. Yeah. And Superman doesn't do that.
He thought about civilians when he broke his neck.
Yeah, the thing.
Which is the other thing. He doesn't do that.
He doesn't kill people ever.
He would have had a plan. He would have kept him away from from that.
Right, I got you. Yeah,
I think there's only one person that ever tries to kill, and that's Doomsday. Because that's it.
Because look, and their animation section of their movie studio does a really good job, because they usually have the fights near a military facility,
right,
or a wide open space in a parking lot or something. Somebody gets close to getting hurt, but they don't really get hurt. And if they do, he's all anguish and stuff.
Yeah. And on top of it, let's just be honest. The DC animation department's kept the lights on for quite a while by themselves.
Intellectually, anyway. They don't really make a lot of money, but relatively speaking, because it's animation.
Yeah. Oh, Greg was getting down the wheel like a good teammate.
Well, I figured this is more of your guys' talking point, so I had time to do something.
So that was the biggest news. Everything else was just
So they're going to mess it up again.
Yes.
I'm pretty confident.
I did read something this morning. With Johnny Depp. Actually, this will be a little...
what about Johnny Depp?
You know how they announced that Margot Robbie was going to
they got canceled.
Yeah, they canceled all that, and they still haven't gotten anything from Depp saying he will or won't do anything.
Huh?
They still haven't gotten word from Depp if he will or won't.
If you go off of his court, he said that he'd never work for Disney again.
Yes, but I guess there was talks, and then he was going to let them see what they were letting him say. He was accepting offers from them to see what they're going to do.
What did he say?
Oh, when the whole Amber Heard stuff happened, Disney did a full like shut him down, disowned him.
Oh.
And then now that they're wrong, they're trying to get him back, but he doesn't want to. He turned down a $301 million contract. They offered him, but
No, they didn't offer it to him. They asked him if they offered you $300 million, you would never go work for them again, and he said no, absolutely not.
yeah, but they're. I guess he said something to him, and then there's like negotiations. I'd say at best, like they're trying to see what they
What
can.
are they doing? Another
They want to.
They want to continue the Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp has always said he wanted to do one more Pirates and give Jack Sparrow a farewell, like a goodbye, like this is his last movie.
Yeah.
And so they were in talks about doing that, and then Amber Heard
Yeah,
did all that
get it
crap.
So far, I was just wondering. I didn't know about the one more film thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
they were talking about rebooting the whole series
Why reboot?
So they can keep.
so they can keep making money off of it.
Well, obviously that's obvious, but I'm saying like, why reboot it? Why can't you just have different characters do different things in the same world? They don't have to have Jack Sparrow. And besides, me personally, after the first couple, I was just getting tired of watching a pirate Keith Richards. You know what I mean? It's just not.
And then Keith Richards was actually in it.
Yeah, as his dad or whatever it was,
Yeah.
which made sense, obviously, but.
I don't.
And then he decided to play Jack Sparrow as Tonto in the Lone Ranger movie,
Yeah,
and he
right.
ruined that movie too. So
I just don't think. I don't see.
You don't.
I just don't see him coming. I don't see him coming back unless they can somehow mend fences that way. I mean, you have to remember he lost Fantastical Beasts with Disney. He lost Pirates of the Caribbean. I just don't see him.
negotiating.
Yeah,
or
right.
coming to a clear decision anytime soon.
Right. I just don't see it happening. Unless he really wants to give Jack Sparrow that much of a... That's the only thing I think that could draw him back in. Because that is like his biggest character.
integrity
That
as
is
an
like his
actor.
biggest
Yeah.
character.
His integrity as an actor. Now, for me, I'm not really looking for another Pirates because they killed off one of my favorite characters,
what, Jeffrey Rush?
Barbossa. Yeah,
I knew it. I
love Barbossa.
I know that.
Barbossa is my favorite character.
Barbosa wasn't in the second movie.
He was at the end.
Oh my gosh, his two second
and then he was-
cameo.
Yes, his 2-second cameo, and then
What's
the
the
third.
one with the Congress of Pirates?
That's the third one.
That's the third one.
And what's the one? I always forget.
The fourth one is when he started working for King George.
Is the second or third one with the mermaid?
That was the fourth one.
Fourth one. Wow.
Yeah.
I have them all mixed together.
Yeah,
The only one I know is wasn't Barbosa. He was the first one. He was trying to take all the gold or whatever.
Yeah, he was trying to get all the gold back so he could lift the curse.
Right. I remember
they-
that much.
Because they couldn't die.
They couldn't feel anything. It
Right. They could even when they drank liquor or water or whatever, they couldn't taste
was all
it.
pointless.
Because technically they're dead. They had no feeling.
I like the first one well enough
And then the second one
because
was
the whole cast was better.
And then the second one was with
The
Davy
introduction
Jones.
of Davy Jones, and that was really good.
My least favorite one is the one with the gathering of pirates and stuff.
That'd be the third one.
third
and
one,
that
yeah.
is also not my most favorite.
There's too much going on.
Exactly.
The fourth one wasn't bad though. The fourth one's where his son tries to find him.
No, that's the fifth. That's the fifth. The fourth one's with Blackbeard and the mermaid.
Yeah, that's a lot more simple than the fourth one. Where
Then the fifth one is Dead Men Tell No Tales, which is the one with Whatchamajimmy's son.
Orlando Bloom's.
Yeah.
so the most complicated one is probably the worst one.
So the fourth one is on Stranger Tides.
Tides, which is with Blackbeard.
Oh, that's the one with Penelope Cruz.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you would know her. She's
That's the one where they have to go into the afterworld to find Jack, right?
no, that's the third one.
Is that the third one?
Yes.
I'm getting them all mixed up then.
I know. Everyone is. So, yeah. So now the Kill Barbossa, I have much less interest because
He had a good ending though. He had a good send off.
Yeah, he had a great send off. But I'm just saying, like, he was like one of the most interesting because he was Jack Sparrow's nemesis. He was the Joker to Jack Sparrow's Batman, and they played off each
Not
other.
really.
Not
at
really.
all.
Not in the end.
Not in the end.
Not in the end,
They
they
were
weren't.
a duo because in some of the other comics they worked together. In some of the older
In the
comics.
first one, they were against each other because the
100%.
one guy was being evil.
Yeah.
And Jack Sparrow was like inadvertently helping him because he wanted the gold or something like that.
Yeah. He wanted the pearl back.
Yeah,
He
he
wanted
wanted-
to get him alive so he could kill him to get the pearl back.
Correct.
Complicated plans. So, I mean, that's the two things I've read about or anything worthwhile.
Because in the first, like I said, in the first movie, it didn't seem like he really even hated Jack Sparrow that much. He just kind of was in his way,
Right.
you know.
He was just a nuisance.
Yeah, you're in my way.
Jack was
I
just-
don't think you're that great.
Jack was just
Get
a
out of my
nuisance.
way. I'm gonna kill you.
I mean, Jack had a revenge plan. He wanted to kill him because of him betraying him.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin the wheel. See what we're going to come up with this time. Let's hope.
You spun last time. Let him spin
Oh, yeah.
this time.
I don't. Whatever.
Oh,
It went around like twice.
crime.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We've never gotten that before.
Yeah, well, one time I had him watch Pride and Glory, and I had you watch.
Oh, is that the one when you had to watch Chinatown or whatever?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
That's not a bad movie. I like Chinatown.
Okay.
Mostly because Jack Nicholson gets beat up.
So
all the
we got to
time.
think of a crime movie. So
Yeah, well, I mean, we got
Unless you want
time.
me to spin it again, which I can do.
no,
No, it's all right. Crime's
no,
fine.
crimes is fine.
I like crime movies.
I know you do. So anything you read interesting?
I don't think Dark City counts as crime.
No updates on Ezra Miller.
I think he's in jail right now.
Seems to be what we open up with every other Thursday.
Like because it was Johnny Depp, then it was Ezra Miller.
No, it's going to be a while.
Yeah, I think he's actually just in jail now.
I don't think he's in jail. I mean,
Well, they're working on prosecution or whatever.
Yeah. So
yeah, but he's probably not going to be in jail for that. Like I said, I mean, you're probably going to get a fine, $1,000 fine. I'm sure he's got that in
yeah.
his pocket.
So that's it for news. So let's start with the movies. We'll start with the movie me and you watched, Dan. Good old Black Adam.
Yep. Good old Teth Adam.
Yep. Me and you watched it. How'd you feel? I know how you feel about it, but
Ambivalent. It was kind of monochrome. Like everything looked the same, and also a lot of stuff didn't make any sense.
yeah.
So you have a lady trying to find the tomb of Teth Adam, who's like their hero or whatever.
Well, she was trying to find that stupid crown for some reason. The evil crown.
Was it the crown?
Yeah, she was trying to find the evil crown, and she happened to be like, "Oh, here's Teth Adam's tomb too." Like, okay.
And then she knew exactly what to say to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, really?
Well, she was reading the stone, but she's translating it right there. She's trying to translate ancient language right there, super fast, when some guy's about to shoot her in the head.
My thing with the movie was mostly because the incredible amount of superhero fights right in the middle of town, and everyone's just still driving around normal.
Right? No one caring.
I know they were all CGI cars, but still.
Yeah. Now, me and you both agreed that we really like the action scenes.
Yeah, they're good.
Especially like the first half of it where he's just killing anybody who gets in his way.
The only action part, the only person I didn't really like the action of is Atom Smasher, because they always like had to make a joke out of him every time.
He had to be like the jokey teen guy, which, yeah, I get it. I don't like it either. And then the whirlwind chick was useless.
And the other problem I have, well, I don't know, a bit of a comic book purist in some ways. So
Yeah.
I've read quite a few Justice Society of America comics, so I know what the characters are like there. So I don't know. Like Atom Smasher's more serious
Yeah.
because his family was messed up when he was a kid, so he always wanted to destroy people. So they had to hold him back a little bit.
Yeah.
And Cyclone was always more. You all right, man?
Yeah.
You choked on it?
Yeah, I was joking.
Was always more happy-go-lucky.
That's why you shouldn't eat and work at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Happy-go-lucky and trying to impress everybody. But this girl was always like, I know I'm smart and I'm the best. I don't even have to show it.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Too cool for school stuff? Really?
Yeah, right. So the important character that I was excited about for
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Hey.
Now, I was disappointed in Dr. Fate in this because he was not nearly powerful enough.
And not also way too much of a goody two shoes.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Fate's kind of crazy
Yeah.
because the helmet talks to him.
Yeah, and it's got all the other Dr. Fates.
That would have been cool if they had the helmet say stuff to him and he's like arguing with it once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, not like a subtle thing.
Yeah. Just like where he's just kind of talking
Like
to
he's
himself,
off to the side somewhere. And
talking to himself.
Yeah. Hawkman was good.
Yeah, Hawkman was really good. I liked him. He was very good at playing Hawkman.
Yeah, I liked Hawkman. Too bad he doesn't have
Yeah,
woman.
right?
That would've been
his main motivation in life.
They didn't even mention it.
Yeah, right. And they also made him super tough.
I know.
Super tough.
I know the armor's supposed to be really good.
But it doesn't take punches from Superman and or Black Adam.
It does, but only a couple, not like constant.
He was getting beat around and just like, whatever. I can take him.
It's kind of ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
So I know they had to have to explain a lot in the beginning to get the setup.
Yeah.
The beginning was really good. The setup for the whole slavery for the mineral and so he can make the crown and stuff. And I like the misdirection from when they thought it was him the whole time.
But it was actually his son.
Right. Who was the good guy and not him.
Yeah.
And that was a good twist. But my thing is that he never apologizes for anything.
No.
Never.
And his
whole motivation is depending on the origin. Sometimes he's the uncle, sometimes he's the son, sometimes he's still a little kid, right?
Yeah.
But in this one, his son was the one who ended up getting killed, and he always wants to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else again. So it's kind of like Batman, except he will kill everyone.
He will kill everybody.
And he wants to take over Kondox because he thinks that way he can watch over everybody and make sure no one touches it.
Yeah, if he runs everything, then nobody can
abuse anybody.
Yeah, abuse power. If he abuses the power, no one else will do it.
Right.
Well, he doesn't really abuse
makes sense.
people.
No, he does.
He only does stuff if they mess with anybody who lives.
He's Dr. Doom.
Kind of.
So I've talked to you before about how I don't like sympathetic villains or, where they try to sympathize and like, oh, he has a motivation.
Well, there's a difference between he's not a villain. He's like the Punisher.
Yeah.
In the sense that the Punisher does things, and I guess he's an anti-hero sort. Well, Punisher's way worse than him, actually, to be honest, but they're equivalent, mostly because one's superpowered and one's not. Anyway.
So they did a thing where they tried to make Black Adam more sympathetic by going, he let his rage consume him and he accidentally destroyed a bunch of places on accident, so he feels bad about it.
When in the comic books, he wasn't like that.
No, if he did it for a reason, and he never lost control.
Well, he said he shouldn't have did it, but once it's gone, it's done.
Yeah, he doesn't go, oh, I feel bad. Let me.
He doesn't let it get on his nerves.
He just moves on. He's like, whatever.
I still have a goal, so it doesn't.
It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but whatever.
Because I don't mind the regret part. I just mind the part where he's like, put me in prison, never let me out again.
Yeah. He all of a sudden and here's the thing.
Because the reason why they did that is so that he would have to come back, and then Dr. Fate goes, you can really be a hero if you really want to be.
That.
And I'm like, why do you always have to be a straight up hero? It's boring.
Like, if they just would have let the motivation, like, the main villain almost killed that kid that, reminded him of his son, that would have been great motivation for him to, get it in gear. But no, they wanted to do the over-the-top hero thing that give him super motivation for very bad reasons.
They wanted the whole dramatic... Oh, and there's way too much slow-mo. But... because he's super fast.
Okay, I got it.
Slow-mo, it's like...
and then the very first beginning of it, someone went to the James Gunn School of cinematography where they did he's moving fast and they have the iconic song playing while he's like destroying stuff and
like he catches a bullet in his fingertips in the beginning
and then throws it at people and stuff.
Got you.
But because they needed the whole dramatic thing at the end, so he can get out and say Shazam because he's the same as.
Oh yeah, right.
And then they had to do the whole thing where he swims to the surface of the lake because he's underwater because they're trying to prevent people from escaping. And he comes up, then he says Shazam and he saves everybody. And the hero against this evil guy who's
and on top
he
of
has
it,
like 7 wizards, right? Or 7 gods that represent his powers. And there's another evil guy who has the same thing.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, why?
right.
Just go, I'm here. I have control of conduct. This tries to take over. Let's fight.
Yeah,
And he could do the hero thing, do the superhero thing, try to keep him out of the city and all that stuff.
yeah,
Why? With the whole dramatics. Maybe they wanted more slow-mo.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, the biggest letdown for me was Dr. Fate not being as powerful as he should be.
And not as crazy.
Yeah, not as crazy, yeah. Because that's his helmet is like created by a god of magic, of like order magic.
Mm-hmm.
And then every previous Dr. Fate before him, soul still trapped in it, so they all kind of can talk to him at the same time. So every inheritor of the helmet's kind of crazy because they have like
Because they hear voices.
they have
right.
hundreds of people's voices in their head telling them to do stuff all the time.
Right.
And I think they could have added another Justice Society of America member. There was only 4 people.
Yeah,
That
Wildcat
wasn't-
should have been Wildcat.
No, he's terrible.
He is not terrible.
Yes, he's like Black Canary, except worse.
He's poor Batman that only knows how to box people.
So he's nobody.
Exactly, but he's awesome. I love
no-
Wildcat.
He's a good character for street level stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what they could have did? They could have did a side thing where they had like trying to explain. They could have did a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who they could
Or
have added.
who's yours? Dr. Midnight is what his name is.
Yeah, but he's like a home character. He's not really going out in the field, really. He'll heal people on the ship, maybe. Unless they want to do the heal doctor guy on the ship thing, which has been done a million times.
I'm a doctor, not.
Right.
That's more or less what he
Except
is.
he's blind and can see in the dark, which is weird.
So he's not as good Daredevil. All right.
So anyway,
So I mean,
So the
where would you rank it?
it's like a 6.5.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not quite 7 because it doesn't have its plot's kind of a little bit.
Holy
Yeah, it's
mixed with cheese.
It's not really Swiss cheesy. It's more just.
a little bit too many cliches.
It's just
too much-
this. It's here to here to here to here
me,
instead
it's
of being like a through line.
straight line,
It's
yeah,
just
right.
bouncing
It's also
all over the
pretty
place.
much too much standard hero stuff for a character who's not really a hero.
Well, I mean, I think we talked about that the last time we were here too, right? We were all saying how we didn't like jumpy movies, how it jumped from.
Yeah. Like, there's times that there's movies that can do jumpy things, but they have to piece a puzzle together. This was
Right.
There was no puzzle to put together.
To me, the primary problem is the jumpiness mostly happened at like locations is within the city.
Right.
And the 2 problems I had with it was the kid who somehow can run around with guns going off and never get hit, which doesn't make any sense. And he's always like trying to go, hey, you should be like a superhero because you're just like Batman, and trying to put like a branding thing on the DC universe in the middle of a movie.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to compare him to Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this kid has no fear. You mean he's not scared of getting shot at?
Or his mom telling him he just killed like 150 people.
Right.
Of army, military guys, like in a second.
Yeah. And he never even bats an eyelash. He just goes, hey, you should do this because I said so because I'm a kid. And I'm like, really? And the other problem I had with this was that the imprisonment thing. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that made no sense.
He would never do that.
No.
So anyway, it's just kind of a little bit all over the place, mostly for too many scene changes and action parts. But the through line's essentially they're trying to convince him to be a regulation superhero, I guess,
Yeah, for no reason.
even though he's not a regulation superhero.
Now, I think you would like the first half of it a lot, just with all the murdering. Because the first thing he does is grab the dude by the neck and just incinerates him.
I wish they would have went more with kind of like a man out of time thing.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, because he adapted to that really quick.
Well, I guess that there was a lot more when they originally made it. There was a lot more killings, and then they made them when they sent the final copy. They made them cut a lot of it out.
Probably to keep it PG-13.
Yeah, right. That's what they said. But the original View had a lot more killing in it, and then they made them cut it out to make it reach PG-13 level.
I don't know why they're worried about that. Every other action movie has tons of murder in it. Most of the time, they're worried more about the F-bomb than they are murder.
Right.
Yeah.
Or nude scenes or something like that, right?
There's none of that. He doesn't swear. He barely talks. So
I don't know.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing is like he goes, "What kind of hero kills people?" I'm not a hero, and I kill people. And he just kills that guy immediately.
my other favorite part was when he was like holding those like two army guys in the air, and he throws them up. And then goes somewhere and takes care of something else. And he goes, "You're supposed to save people." I go, "You did."
Yeah, he's like this. He goes, he waited till Hawkman followed him up high enough to catch him, and then he goes, "First one to tell me doesn't get dropped." And he goes, so he just drops one immediately, and Hawkman goes after him, and then he takes the other guy and throws him the other way, and then he gets the information out of him, and then tosses him again, and then leaves, and then Hawkman saves him real fast. He goes, "I told you not to kill people. They're alive. You saved them. Like, you got this."
Right.
Like, he knew he was going to save them. He was like, "That's why I waited until you got close enough."
That's a good example of what I wish the tone of the movie was.
Yeah.
Because they switched over to the whole Dr. Fate trying to make the guy a hero thing. Dr. Fate doesn't care about that.
No.
He's trying to keep, like, magic stuff from going awry all the time.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he cares about.
He like Doctor Strange, basically a lot like Doctor Strange.
But way stronger.
And crazy.
And crazy. So
yeah, it was good.
It was decent.
Yeah.
Now, my one question I wanted to ask you this earlier. Pierce Brosnan, was that a good casting choice for?
I liked him.
The
casting was good generally. Except for maybe I don't like
Adam Smasher. Yeah.
Adam Smasher. The guy wasn't that bad. The script was terrible for that character.
Okay.
He was all jokey all the time.
Yeah.
And Cyclone had nothing to do.
Yeah, literally. She threw some pipes with her wind powers.
And was like snooty to like everyone.
Yeah.
Slightly. Not even very much, really.
So
what do we
now we're gonna move on to our next movie. Mystic River. After Greg's done texting people.
Well, he's bored with our talking.
I can talk.
I know, I'm just would you say like crime drama? Mystery?
Yeah. Crime drama.
Yeah, crime drama movie. Greg suggested it 2 weeks ago. We watched it last night.
I really like the movie. I've seen it before, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie.
Yeah. Why don't you give some synopsis real quick while I
So,
stuff my fat face.
Yeah, okay. So Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon, and what's his name? The guy from Shawshank Redemption. What's his name?
Andy Dufresne.
Morgan Freeman?
No, the one about
Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins. They're all childhood friends, and the movie opens up with them playing street hockey in the street, and they find this sidewalk, right?
Wet cement.
This wet cement sidewalk, and they're all, like kids do, they carve their names in the sidewalk, and this guy portrays a cop, and he yells at him, and he finds which one lives the furthest away, which turns out to be Tim Robbins' character, Dave.
Oh, baby boy.
And obviously he was pretending to be a cop. He abducted him. Obviously did some things to him for, 4 days?
Yeah, he was held for 4 days.
4 days. He escaped. And he comes back. Well, then it doesn't really go into nothing. From there, it goes right to their
adult lives.
Right to their adult lives. There's no like high school or none of that. It doesn't go into any of that garbage. So you find out that what would you call Sean Penn's character? Is he? He's a pseudo gangster.
He's like a pseudo mob boss.
Right.
Like he owns his own like market, like a corner market, But then he also has like some Boston thugs that work for him, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Or they're just friends with him and they'll do whatever he says at any point in time.
Right.
So it's like a weird, like he's like a pseudo mob boss. Like he's not doing anything crime wise except for he can tell these criminals what to do for no apparent reason.
Yeah, it's the Savage Brothers, right?
So it's like basically neighborhood insurance in case they try to mess with his business. He'll
That's what it kind of like he's
he'll break their legs if they mess with his stuff.
Right,
Otherwise,
yeah, I don't know.
Would do whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't get it. So we couldn't quite put our finger on whether he was a mob boss or just a straight up criminal. We couldn't figure it out. So
Because it was so back and forth with it.
Well, a lot of neighborhoods like that back in the day, you had to be able to, take
Handle
care
it.
of yourself.
right.
Yeah.
So anyways, you find out he's this, criminal or whatever he is, and Kevin Bacon's character, which ironically is named Sean.
Yeah.
Sean Penn didn't get the name Sean in the show, in the movie, but Kevin Bacon did. He turns out to be a cop or an investigator.
Yeah. It's Dady.
And it doesn't really go into what Dave's job is. Does
No, it doesn't tell you what job he has. He's just some dude.
Right. So, anyways, Sean Penn's daughter is killed. She's going home one night and she's killed. And, the next day, obviously, Sean Penn's character doesn't know yet, so they can't figure out where she's at. She's late to show up to her sister's christening. And then, obviously, it goes into Kevin Bacon. He's looking for the body because her car's in the middle of the street. Something's wrong. Someone calls the cops. And they find her body. And when they find her, Sean is coming home. Sean Penn's character is coming home, and he obviously sees the car in the middle of the street and realizes it's his daughter. Mm-hmm. So he breaks through the
police line,
gets to the daughter. They hold him back, and it's like one of the most iconic scenes of the show. Like cops wrestling down. He's
it was in the trailer.
He's screaming, "Is that my daughter?" in there.
Yeah.
So
So
on the same night that she dies, Dave beats the living crap out of
an offender,
a pedophile. So he doesn't. So this is one of Kyle and I. We talked about after the movie. There's three things I don't like about the movie.
Yeah. So so the whole plot hole is apparently they don't say that right away. He comes home covered in blood with a knife wound, and he's like telling his wife, I messed up. I was almost mugged, and I might have killed the mugger. I'm pretty sure I killed the mugger." Which that was the whole plot. Like he didn't want to tell the truth about it, which didn't make
no sense. No sense
because he was afraid to tell everyone the truth. Was he beat up an offender and killed him, and then threw his body in the forest,
dumped his body behind some store out in the woods.
So did he kill that guy because he thought that he was the one that...
No. He
was walking home from the bar
saw
and had witnessed a guy. So he busted the window out
and attacked him. So it wouldn't happen to somebody else,
Yeah, I know. I got you.
So he killed. So that was one of the major plot holes. Is he was too afraid to tell what he actually did, which
weird,
I don't think.
Which is weird because I'm pretty sure anyone would have been like, "Oh yeah, you probably had a flashback,"
especially in a.
You know what I mean? Like,
because this was like the late '90s where that kind of stuff nobody talked about. You left that to yourself. We were talking about that. That's why like a lot of people might not know because, like I said, you always kind of kept that kind
everybody
of stuff.
Everybody knew.
Realistically,
this is also before the whole spotlight thing.
Yeah, that's true. So my thing is, even if
no one knew. And you came home and you said, "I seen this guy doing this to the kid, and I just
killed him,
beat the crap out of him." Everyone would probably have been like, "Yeah, okay."
Right.
Especially in that neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
They have a store owner who has a leg breaking squad.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And on top of it,
no one has a problem with it.
Yeah, and it took place in a time period where people didn't talk to the cops, especially if it was like
you didn't talk to the cops
because they weren't going to have somebody who was doing the right
especially
thing.
In that, like again, in that neighborhood, those people didn't talk to cops.
No,
exactly. So that was a major plot hole through the whole movie. So the whole rest of the movie It's really done well. Like we were talking about this, that's why you like it, because it shows every step of the investigation.
Yeah,
it shows
it's
goes through.
yeah, right. It's cohesive. It shows everything. Like there are twists and turns that come up, but they're all pieced back together at the end.
Yeah. So during the whole investigation where it's
Is Kevin Bacon the main investigator?
Yes. Yep.
Him and Lawrence
Fishburne
are like the two investigators. So they break off into separate things.
That's probably why I was thinking of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Him and Lawrence Fishburne are like two sides of
the same coin.
for me.
So Lawrence Fishburne's character
their voices are pretty similar.
finds Dave to be suspicious, and he's pretty sure he's the killer.
Yeah.
Where Kevin Bacon's like, no, because there's some major,
Well, he kind of lets him know. He's like, he was abducted when we were 12.
And then he's like, well, there's some characteristics
And they
of
never
murder
figured out who that was.
Oh no, they did later.
They explain it a little bit later on. The one guy, so there was two guys that abducted him. The one died like a year later, and the other one went to jail
and died in jail with cancer or whatever. Yeah. So, Lawrence Fishburne's suspicious of Dave's character.
Well, because when they interview him, his hands, because obviously he beats crap out of the guy. His hands are all swelled up real bad and bloody.
Cut, and he's got a wound on his stomach.
And the girl was beat
to death.
So he was just connecting two things that he had seen.
Yeah. Where Kevin Bacon's like, well, there's certain parts of that don't make sense. If it was him and it was part of his trauma, there would be some other evidence to help, to
support it.
Yeah, to be part of that kind of crime.
Was there any implication that because they're friends, he wasn't implicating that guy or anything like that?
Kind of. A little bit. Like guilty conscience.
Lawrence Fishburne says it. He's like, you're too close to him. You're just not seeing it.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon had some of the thing. It was more guilty party that they let that happen to their friend. But they weren't like friends anymore. Yeah. So as it goes through,
and does literally everyone know that Sean Penn has a leg breaking score?
Yes. Everyone knows.
Like everyone.
Yeah, everybody.
The cops?
Yeah, yes. Everyone knows. Yep. Yeah, Kevin Bacon even names them. He's like, they're the Savage Brothers. Yeah, he knows. Everyone knows who they are.
So as they're going through this, Andy Dufresne,
security quote unquote.
Andy Dufresne's character starts having a breakdown.
Well, he's starting to relive it in his head. Yeah, right. He's going wonky is what he's doing. He's going crazy. Yeah. He's saying weird stuff. He's acting real goofy.
Mm-hmm. And his wife's starting to get suspicious of him. Well, they're actually really good friends with Sean Penn's character.
Well, Sean Penn's wife is her cousin.
Yeah. Right. So they're all really close.
So they're close. They hang out. They go to parties and stuff together.
She starts noticing this, so she's getting suspicious of her husband. Well,
this is the other part I don't like. His wife opened her mouth.
Yeah, his wife literally goes to Sean Penn's character and goes, "Hey, I'm going to be leaving him, and I feel like he did something." He's like, "Do you think he killed my daughter?" She goes, "Yeah, I think he did."
She pretty much tells him that she thinks he killed his daughter.
So Sean Penn goes, and
so Sean Penn's like, well, okay, because he has been acting very strange. He's been acting weird. He's been saying odd things.
Yeah, and then Dave's character kind of lets Sean Penn know, I did see your daughter.
He's like, I seen your daughter the night she was killed, because she was out bar hopping, and she came into one of the bars he was at.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, hey, I do want to let you know I seen your daughter, Saturday night. She looked happy. She was dancing and stuff like that. And
that's what set him off. So Sean Penn gets his leg breakers to pick him up, thinking they're a little hanging.
The leg breakers.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the new name.
Yeah, the leg breakers. Gets them to pick him up and like they're gonna hang out and have beers and hang out and stuff. Well, they get him kind of messed up.
And they get him messed up on shots and drinks and stuff. And then Sean Penn shows up at the bar, and then obviously the mood changes. You can when he steps in, you can tell the whole.
Yeah, this is gonna go wrong real fast. So they eventually take him out to the docks that's behind their one bar, and Sean Penn's like,
Captain Savage and his leg breakers.
Yeah, right. He's like, I know you did it. You need to tell me.
Well, he asked him if he did it, and. He's like, Dave tells him the truth. He's like, no. He's like, I beat up And he's like, I killed an offender. He goes, that's why my hands are swollen. You know, like.
But he didn't want to believe. He was already sad.
And Sean Penn was like, I didn't hear nothing. We didn't hear nothing about no guy disappearing. No body was found. You're lying to me.
He goes, I'm not accepting any other thing. You need to tell me you did it. Like, there was no changing his mind.
So what happened was he pretty much told him, he said, if you tell me you did it, I'll let you live. That's what he keeps telling him. So,
which is a ridiculous statement,
right? But I think that at that point he thought that he was going to die anyways.
Yeah, so he might.
So he might as well try.
He just went
with
his narrative, and
so he tells him, "Yeah, I did it," and
Sean Penn kills him.
Sean Penn kills him. Now, earlier in the movie, you find out that the girl has a boyfriend, and his brother is deaf. So, like, they're really, really close.
Well, not deaf. He's mute. He's mute.
He's mute. And they're really, really close. So Sean Penn doesn't like him because the reason he went to jail when he was younger was their dad ratted him out
to save his own skin.
Right.
And then Sean Penn
kills their dad when he gets out of jail and dumps him in the river, which is the Mystic River. And he takes that. So while he's getting ready to kill Dave, he tells him the story. This isn't, obviously, it's like him saying, this isn't the first time I've done this. I've
killed another dude.
I've dumped him in the river before. Like, you're not the first. And so I think that that point was when Dave was like, I'm probably going to die anyways. So let's just see if what he's saying is true. But Sean Penn kills him anyways.
Yeah. And then Kevin, during that time, you find out that her boyfriend's brother, they were fooling around with their dad's old gun, and
they were messing around. And when they shot, they were just trying to scare someone, and it turned out to be their brother's girlfriend. They're just trying to scare someone, and when they did, they shot. And when they shot, it hit her. And so
she panicked.
She got out to run after she got shot, and they panicked and thought she was going to snitch on them. So they chased her down and
killed her.
No shit, she was going to snitch on him.
And
she got shot.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So they chased her down and beat her with a hockey stick, and then
killed her.
Okay.
So
it all ties together. It's a really good movie.
So.
So it's incredibly depressing.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything goes wrong.
Yes.
The only person who isn't depressed is probably Kevin Bacon's character.
Oh, no, he was depressed all the way to the very end.
Well, he's depressed.
Well, he has this weird thing going on. I don't even like getting into that because it's very odd to me with his wife.
It was a weird sideline that made no sense to nothing.
None.
It had no urgency in the plot at all. It had nothing to do with
the movie.
I mean, there's kidnapping, molestation, a guy killing a guy with his bare hands, somebody getting shot, then beat to death.
Yeah.
A guy killing another guy, throwing him in the river, which was his second time.
Yeah.
And on top of it, and then there's Captain Savage and his leg breakers.
And then on top of it, the guy who killed the other guy for betraying him was also paying $500 a month to the family to make sure that
the guy who was killed by the other guy has his wife leave him before that happens.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's the reason why he got killed.
And she's the whole reason. So listen here.
So the only it's Lawrence Fishburne's the only one who's not depressed.
Right.
Yeah.
So the next day after he kills Dave, the next day Kevin Bacon, Sean, he sees Jimmy sitting on the sidewalk, and he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, have you seen Dave?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Have you seen Dave?" He goes, "I need to have a chat with him."
They found this.
He goes, "We found this offender's body behind the store in the woods," and he's like,
he's like, "Oh."
Sean Penn is just looking at his face like, "Oh."
And then he's like, "Also, we caught your daughter's killers." He goes, "What killers?" He goes, "Yeah, it was two kids, just wrong place, wrong time kind of murder." And he goes, "Oh."
He goes, "I really need to speak to Dave. When's the last time you seen him?" He goes, "You're too late." It's literally how he says it. It's literally how he says it. He goes, "You're like, you're too late." He's like, "You're a little too late."
So he kind of let him know he killed the dude because he thought it was their old friend who was just crazy from everything that happened to him. But you found out it wasn't. And then the end of the movie was really weird. So the ending of the movie, they're at a Memorial Day parade, and the other plot point was Sean Penn's wife for some reason is like a mafia don's wife, where she's like, "You hold all the power over this city.
You're a king. You're a king, and no one messes."
Where did that come out from?
So.
Came out of left field.
I don't know. No, what happened was after he was told
Yeah, he was feeling
after
guilty.
he was told that, hey,
Dave didn't kill your
do
daughter.
it, and so he felt guilty and told her, and she was like,
It's okay. You did what you felt was right.
She goes, well, who bad mouths their husbands like that, anyways? Talking about her cousin. Telling Sean Penn.
Yeah, who badmouths her husband and makes him think they're a killer.
Yeah, right.
Like, she's like threw her cousin under the bus, and then she's like, it don't matter. You did what you felt was right, so it doesn't matter you killed an innocent man. You thought you were right, and that's all that matters.
So all the women are terrible in this movie?
Yes.
All of them.
And she's
All of
extra
them.
terrible. She's extra terrible because she's
Well, all of them. Listen.
Even the victim of the shooting?
All of them. They're all terrible people. So listen. Even Kevin Bacon's wife has nothing to do with the movie. Kevin Bacon's wife is like 3 months pregnant and just leaves him. Now,
So
she
there's
doesn't.
an epidemic?
She doesn't tell him where she's at. She doesn't tell him where she's at or anything. But she calls him randomly
2 or 3 times a day.
and won't say a word.
yeah, she just sits there and holds the phone.
Just holds the
So
phone.
they should have had a subplot where she was cheating on him the whole time and it's not his kid.
Something.
That's what it should have been.
Something. But in the end, she comes home. Like at the last 5 minutes of the movie,
He's like, come home.
He's like,
okay.
He answers the phone. He's like, are you going to talk to me or not? And she starts talking.
Well, no, he goes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you away. Which they never talked about him pushing her away.
Nothing.
He's a cop, so there's only one thing that could have been. I'm working too much.
Yeah,
on
right.
The job
Yeah,
and care
obviously,
Not,
yeah,
not
right.
the job and not me.
Not
which
spending
always
enough.
happens.
Not spending enough time at home.
Yeah, same thing as always.
So she comes home. Well, she had the baby and everything.
So she's pretty much pregnant at the beginning.
Yeah, right.
No. At the beginning, she was when she left him. She was 3 months.
She was 3 months.
This is 6 months later.
This
so
is
she already
6
had
months
the baby.
later.
I know, I got that.
Okay.
So she has the baby. She's
Then
living
she-
somewhere.
Yeah, and then she just brings back.
Then she just comes back at the end of the
with the
movie.
baby, and
With
they're
the
like,
ba- yeah.
"Happy family." And then one of the other things Greg hated was Sean Penn's character. So Sean Penn's wife comes out and she's acting like she's staring down her cousin, like, "Ha ha, your husband's dead."
It's very weird.
It's very weird.
But she
tone.
left him before that.
Yes, you are
How
correct.
did she think that? And considering the sociopathic nature of the women in that family, I don't think it would matter.
So
She loves her husband's killing people and throwing them in the river.
So like Kyle said, at the end of the movie, they're at this parade, and Jimmy, Sean Penn's character, is across the street on his porch.
He comes out with these shades on.
Oh yeah, the 3
He's
second
like-
shades.
Yeah,
this was
they're like
she-
big. They're really big.
They're
for
like
his head.
pit
It's like-
vipers. You know what the pit vipers look like?
No.
The sunglasses.
You should look them up, Wally. But they're like really big, and it's like putting like a little kid in an adult size something where it's like really misshapen. And then he walks out, looks around, takes them off, looks at everybody, puts them back on, looks at the parade, and then he retakes them off. And then puts them back on, and then they kind of like do a smirk at each other.
See how big they are? They cover your whole face.
Look up Sean Penn and Mystic River sunglasses. Man.
Okay.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. It doesn't look right for his head.
So, anyways, they look at each other across the street. Now we don't know if this is him saying, "I'm coming after you now, Jimmy." 'cause
Yeah,
I know. I know
Kevin
you
Bacon's
killed.
character goes like this.
Kevin Bacon's character looks at him and goes like this, like he's shooting at him,
And
that's how it
Sean
ends.
Penn goes like this.
and that's how the movie ends.
So it's a really dumb ending.
Yes.
Yes.
It's really weird.
Yes, like you
All
said,
these dramatics, and then all of a sudden, his wife telling him it's okay to murder
also,
guys.
yeah, right. It's okay. It was okay to kill an innocent man because you felt it was right, and you're a king of your.
you're a king, and the kings don't worry about their decisions.
Well,
it's pretty much
plenty
what
of
she
them have
said.
died for those things.
Look, they look so big and weird.
He looks like he's on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
That's what he looks like. With the
Shawnee
nose,
P.
With the nose and everything.
yeah, Shawnee P.
But it's a great movie. I think it's a great movie.
Until the end.
Those plot holes.
So I would give it an 8. If it were me,
I told you last night. It was
sounds
like
about
6,
right.
7, maybe an 8, if those plot holes didn't exist.
They're not really even that huge.
No,
I think they were left out on purpose.
yeah.
Because sometimes who's the director of that one anyway?
I'll tell you here in a second.
I don't know. What did we watch the week before, Greg? I can't remember.
The week before we finished Dahmer.
I thought we watched something else.
No, we finished Dahmer. And no, that's it. We finished Dahmer.
Okay. I think I'm going to start watching.
Clint Eastwood.
No.
Oh, okay, that's
It's one of his earlier ones then.
yeah. The next thing we do have to watch though during our 2-week gap is you've never watched Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No, I haven't.
You get to watch Keanu Reeves. Yeah,
I know Kung Fu.
that's what he does. That's how he talks.
Did you see?
Yeah.
You know, you probably don't know who he is, but you know who Matthew Perry is.
Yeah,
I know Matt Perry.
Okay, so Matthew Perry has just released a book.
I saw the title. It was weird.
And did you see what he said about Keanu Reeves?
I did not see that part.
So
Hey, late news.
so he's talking about he was really good friends with Chris Farley, and he's talking about how when Chris Farley died, how it really messed with him a lot. He was already an alcoholic and stuff. So in the book, he puts down that he can't believe that so many good actors have died young. And he names a bunch of them. And he names a few good ones. And then Chris Farley's in there and a few other people. And then right after it, he goes, and yet we still have people like Keanu Reeves walking around. Like he went straight for Keanu Reeves. And I guess someone confronted him about it. And he was like, I just threw out a name there. It had nothing to do with him. We're like, yeah, okay, but whatever you
happened
say.
there?
Yeah, right.
No, he's not a good actor.
I guess they reached out to Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves had no comment.
You don't care.
No, he don't
He's
care.
a nice guy.
Yeah, and he just doesn't care.
Well, my thing is, I was talking to Kyle about this. He's not a great actor. Most of the time he's just really good. He's handsome and he's good at choosing roles where he doesn't have to talk a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
even Point Break, he didn't really talk.
I mean, that one really dumb line he has in John Wick. Are you guessing I'm back? Yeah, I'm guessing I'm back.
Yeah, I guess I am back.
Yeah, right. So stupid.
That's the way he talks.
So dumb.
It's the head movements
It's so dumb.
Because he's like, he says it and he does the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures what ruined him. The first movie he was ever in, really. Because he does that thing all the time.
Well, Constantine wasn't bad.
Constantine was decent.
But he has to control his urge to bounce up and down with his head. Because when he was in the chair with the
like a bobblehead.
yeah, he goes, I guess I'm back. I guess I'm back.
Yeah,
That's what he does. It's like up and down like this.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird. Like the whole, but the line is so weird though. Like it's like you could have left that line out of the whole movie and no one would have cared.
Yeah, but they need to try to do something.
Like it wasn't an iconic line.
We have the last one coming out this summer.
Yes. Yep. They're
And,
making another one.
What's lots of them? What's lots of them? Lots of Keanu Reeves movies.
Oh, Keanu Reeves. They're
No,
the next.
we actually had a couple.
The next John Wick's coming out.
People tell us that we should go and talk about the John Wick movies. A couple people on Discord and on Twitter.
Oh, what was it? What is it going to be? Like a diagram of every fight scene? Is that what this is going to be?
I mean, we can. Whatever.
Because that's what it is.
So
The only, my favorite cameo is the first movie with what was it? Kevin Nash was in that.
yeah,
He was the bouncer.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, why is he afraid
now-
of
now-
Keanu? Why is he afraid of Keanu Reeves?
So do you ever know that meme on Facebook where it's Leonardo DiCaprio and he's sitting up in his chair and he's pointing. When he says that line, I'm gonna look at you and go, point to the TV.
So that's something.
That horrible line.
Yeah. Oh
the
man.
first one's the best.
Good. Yeah, the first one's good.
The first one is the best one.
The
Mostly because Theon Greyjoy gets beat up.
I never watched the second one.
I watched a little bit of it and I watched the third one.
I watched the third one as well.
The second one is a little bit boring in the middle because there's it's like watching a shooter game,
Yeah.
except in movie form.
Right.
Because he goes to Rome and he goes in his big party and then has a showdown with what's the rapper who was in that movie? Did you see that? I forget his name. There's a rapper. He plays like the bodyguard main person. They get into a fight and then he runs away and shoots a bunch of minions and then gets to fight again and then they stop.
I always thought he was
weird.
gonna kill what's his name? The guy that keeps sending him everywhere.
Oh, the one owns the hotel.
Yeah.
I mean,
always
that's gonna
he's
be-
getting to it.
For some reason I always thought he was gonna kill him and he never does. He never
He's going to
Kills
in the
him.
next one, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because this guy's been messing with him.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I
Yeah, he's been flip flopping back and forth.
can't believe he hasn't killed him. Maybe it will be this movie.
Well, that's the guy playing him was originally the like saloon owner in Deadwood, and that's his character he plays all the time.
Right.
He's like the kind of skeezy guy. He can
Right.
talk his way out of everything.
Yeah.
So
we have
that's his, every character he's ever been.
Violent Night coming out here soon.
Yep, that's for going to be our Christmas specials.
Now you guys have fun.
Oh, you said you would watch it with us.
I did not say that.
Oh, you did too.
I did not. You said that in your head. You asked me. I didn't say anything, and you said, and you nodded to yourself. That's what happened.
We had this debate at work. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of us at work, and 2 people think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and the other 4 said no.
Yep. And then I put it on Facebook and and Twitter.
Who's
and,
all? Because I
everyone
only
that-
seen 2 people comment on the Facebook one.
Yep. And then there was comments on the Discord one, and then there was comments on the Twitter.
It's not a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's not.
No, it's set
not.
during Christmas.
It's not a Christmas.
They have
So if you want to call something a Christmas movie, it has to have something to do with the holiday. You can't call something. So Die Hard can happen in the middle of June, and it's the same movie.
right.
Okay. I will concede your argument to that point. But the
was
one
no other
I
point.
will hold to
There was no other
the one I will hold to is Batman Returns. That is 100%.
I don't remember Batman Returns.
It's all about Christmas. Like everything in that whole movie is either Christmas puns, cat puns, bird puns, and then the whole ending
What's
is
that got to do with Christmas?
I'm saying it all takes place during Christmas. Then
But so does Die Hard. It doesn't make it a Christmas
yeah,
movie.
but then there was
It's a Batman movie. It can't be a Christmas movie.
yes, it is. It's a Batman Christmas movie. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay, so once again, if that happens in the middle of January, is it the same movie?
Yes.
No, because the whole point was the Penguin got thrown into the sewer during Christmas, and that's why Christmas. That's why he kidnaps all the rich people's kids during Christmas. Because it was Christmas. And then what's her face?
He can't get thrown in the sewer in the summer.
And then he didn't. No, he didn't. That's all that matters. And then who plays Catwoman again? I can't think of her name to save my life.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Dude.
She's like, I'm gonna open my Christmas present early, and then she kills a dude. So yes. Yes, Christmas movie. Christmas movie.
Just because the script has a lot of Christmas puns,
All right.
doesn't mean because it's not explicitly
All right.
about
So
Christmas.
you're absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, right.
You're on the absolutely no. I'm on the absolute yes. Greg's on the no for if he has justification for it to be a no. So, and you said you haven't seen it in so long.
Since when did
Will
I
you
say
please
there's-
watch it during one of your weeks of work? And then if it comes,
I'll watch it. I'll watch
if
it.
you
I'll watch it.
Batman Returns.
You don't
And
need to watch that movie.
yes, he does. Shut up.
It's not
He's
good.
going to be the tiebreaker.
It has not aged well.
No one said it was good.
The only bad part about the first Batman movie was the weird cameo of Prince at the at the
So
I forgot about
right.
that.
So wait. This
the gas
last
and
30
stuff,
seconds of the
I'm
show. We'll continue this debate later. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
later.
Yo!